We are live!
We are live! So because we don't want this stream to be deleted, that's the one thing. So. Which one? No, you need to use. Okay, so this is still raw and improv experience of creativity experience. Coin the term 𝗨𝗨𝗃 marketing Brewmaster. Fancy, eh? So we got a whole crew here. We got a whole crew, and we got Tea, which I'll explain why this entire setup. I had my mic first in case StreamYard deletes this entire thing. In the meantime, if you guys have questions regarding to what's going on here, send them to the comments either on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, or anywhere else, or DM or WhatsApp us, anything you can find. The session will start in a minute or two after the afternoon prayer call, which is now.
Same.
So, after the prayer call. So, those who are excited to be part of this, 𝗨𝗨𝗃, please jump in anytime. So, what's happening here? I'm trying to boil the water. Boiling the water. It's quite an exciting process. Look, guys.
Exciting process of boiling the
I'm so
water.
excited right now. So many things in the front here.
And we all love tea, don't we?
Yes.
Yes.
The
Sarah, where are you?
Sarah.
Okay, I'm the camerawoman.
So we are intern doing the camera switching. So all hands on deck just for Teh. That's how much we love our Teh.
Yeah, you love tea.
So what happened here was several weeks ago, Bhai Tea. Bhai Tea sent me a DM on Instagram and say, yo bro, let's looks like you're pretty much the influencer.
Yeah.
So yeah, the atomic influencer. You know, there's influencer, there's micro influencer, nano influencer, and the one that's more the electron is the micro, the atomic influencer. So don't be surprised the potential of the atoms.
Okay, let's not.
So atoms can do big things. So the point, the water is boiling. Look at that,
Boiling is the water.
The boiling is the water.
Technical difficulties.
The boiling is the water. We can make the pour. First day.
First day teachers. This is not under my job scope.
Okay.
So I think the boy is not the water.
Boil the water. Look at that.
Look at the water.
Oh,
Hey, what happened?
oh, it's locked.
It's not.
Okay, let's put some message.
This needs.
So, you can unlock. Test, test. Test, test. Is there sound now? Test.
Change the
Test, test.
Camera.
Oh, sorry. Test, 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 test. Are we good with sound? Can? A bit, huh? Okay, let's continue. So, bismillah.
Oh, okay.
Go to Sabang.
Ya, cuba masuk
Aha.
Okay.
So we are back.
Right.
Okay, so this is an improv experience. So bear with us. It'll be worth it. I promise you. For those who stay till to the end. So what happened was, I said Bhai Tea approached me to do a quick shout out for their tea. But you know, when it comes to tea, there's no just a shout out. We either all in or nothing, right?
Yeah, man. All in.
So what happened is 5 AM in the morning, I ransacked the kitchen, my mother-in-law's kitchen, and look what we got. The full spread.
Look at that.
So be nice to your mother-in-law. If not, you're gonna wake up at 5 AM to ransack the kitchen.
we even have this
The full experience, you know.
wedding cards.
The old school club.
You know, those chai-wala or the chai group folks, they don't drink tea like by jugs like orang semua buat teh gajah. They drink by shots.
So this is how short it is.
Yeah. So you guys are the ones who are doing the diabetes to yourself. So the water is the boiling. So we're gonna come to the actual tea packaging. Can we show the packaging? So tea packaging. This is a 500-gram tea dust packaging. So I love tea dust packaging because it really brings out the taste and it's much more fragrant. You notice later on. Is there something wrong with the camera? The tea packaging. Some quick comments about the packaging. What do you guys think about the packaging?
I love the packaging because it's an illustration, okay, and I think it's well customized, and it's the name of the tea is quite prominent and easy to see, and so it's Bhai Tea 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏 Provisions. Oh, it's a trademark. By the way.
Oh, wow. Trademark by tea or
Yeah,
𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏 Provision?
The logo. I
Oh,
think the
the
logo.
entire thing.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting conversation because packaging alone can tell you a lot of stuff. For example, this is Bhai Tea, but it's a trademark. So is the trademark, like we say, is it for the logo or for
The name.
The name?
Yeah.
It's a difference especially, and it can be a point of contention when your brand starts to become popular. There can be another Bhai Tea tomorrow, and then you realize you actually registered for the logo but not the name.
Yep.
And someone else is allowed to do that. And that will going to affect the rest of your business. So logo, trademark registration is a big deal, especially if you're going to be serious about your brand. Personally, I'm okay with the packaging. Maybe it's more appealing to the younger audience.
Yeah, perhaps.
Why you reply younger audience?
Mila, ayam. I'm younger than you, right, Imran?
So, but it loses that rustic
Look,
feel and
yeah.
look of tea.
What's your thought, bro?
The boiling the water.
It looks rather classy and modern to be honest, and it's not the same as per other tea dust bags that or packaging that I saw on the store, but the logo itself helps to actually bring out a bit of personality, and definitely the color. It should resemble the whole brand. So it should give off like the whole brand experience as well. So that is all for the packaging. And just now I just wanna like reiterate the trademark logo. But you know, having the trademark logo outside, okay, the question can be either the logo, is it being trademarked, or the name of the logo is being trademarked, right? So for me, I would say it's the whole logo because the trademark is placed outside. If the name is being trademarked,
The color
right,
also.
the trademark would be part of the name, and then it should have the same color as the Bhai Tea 𝗕𝗵𝗶 Yeah, so that's my point of view as to how I look at it and how I deem this logo is being trademarked.
If you look carefully, there's the Bhai Tea LLP. Means it's a limited liability partnership. So LLP, we'll talk about legal. You can find out yourself. I'm not going to go explain that. But that gives you more and more ideas about this particular brand. Gives you an idea maybe the scale of this particular business as well. LLP, how they trademark. If they haven't trademarked the name, that shows probably they are probably still trying to get it, or it's because easier to get the logo trademark than
the name.
name.
Because we believe that Bhai Tea has also.
It's quite hard to get the trademark. So trust me guys, we can sniff out a lot of things just from your packaging.
And that's just the fun part. If you were to look at the back, I think there's some more things that we can talk about.
So the QR code, which I realize
Very
it goes to a YouTube, so probably a tutorial of sorts.
Yeah, there it is. It says, scan your QR code guide on how to make Teh Tarik.
Correct.
So how to make a good Teh Tarik.
So you guys want to talk about water because we've been talking the water you can put it.
Yeah.
The water you can put it.
Okay, so some of the other things that I can see from the back of the packaging is all the social medias, handles, and the best before dates, and storing cool and dry places, and the above and how Bhai Tea came about. Yeah, so it originated from Indian provincial shop owner who has been a tea lover since 1965. So this brand has been around for
Since Singapore.
since Singapore is born.
Wow.
Independent of Singapore. Wow, interesting. Oh, they should put a flag of Singapore. Okay.
If you go, so this is where I want to comment on their social media and their brand identity as a whole. If you go to their Facebook, they are not labeled as Bhai Tea.
Oh,
It's labeled as 𝗕𝗵𝗃 Provincials.
yeah.
So the common brand experience, that's where the disruption will happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because if I want to search for Bhai Tea to make a purchase, I will be led to 𝗕𝗵𝗃 Province.
Yeah, so Sarah.
Yeah. Because the Facebook is here, but the Instagram though, it's Bhai Tea.
Correct.
It's literally from
Their TikTok, I think it's pretty new, about 4 or 5 videos.
Oh,
Bhai Tea as well.
so it's not inside the list.
Yeah, only have 3 followers. I think probably came after
Yeah,
this packaging
after the
was finalized.
It also says, it has a cute illustration at the back. And also it says, best enjoyed with your eyes closed. Just make sure when you do it, you don't close your eyes.
And not to worry, we are not doing all this with our eyes closed.
Eyes closed. I'm really curious. What does it mean?
You tell me.
Maybe like you drink it with your eyes closed.
When you take a seat.
We better close our eyes when we take a sip.
Yeah. So yeah.
So sometimes the material they use for packaging matters a lot. I think I love the material. It feels really good.
Rigid, yeah. It's very
And
rigid.
it's going to keep the tea dust in good condition.
And also it's resealable,
Mm.
so we don't really have to transfer it into a container.
Most tea packaging
Yeah,
they're not
non-reusable.
reusable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Most of them you open, you're gonna find another storage. Like what?
Don't say it out here.
That's for another episode.
Yeah, so very simple, very formative. I say it's very complicated packaging. Maybe if they want to go the extra mile, they can squeeze in a quick recipe. That could improve the buyer experience, so they'll be more compelled to try because you're removing a hurdle from them to try out the tea. So these things help, but probably they did that through QR code. But QR code, they are adding another layer
Yeah.
that you need to go through. So not the best I would recommend, but good idea anyway.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna open the seal.
Look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh.
It's like butter on hot knife. Not knife on hot.
Hot knife. Like a butter on hot knife.
So still sealed. Alright.
Right, look at that.
Bow.
That's 500 grams of goodness. Oh, Sarah also wants to smell. So it's really fine.
Yes.
I can smell it.
Maybe this is the reason why they have that,
Oh, eyes closed.
eyes closed. Just have to smell it.
Smell
And
eyes closed.
experience the smell.
Okay, the boiling is the water already again.
Okay, the boiling is the water.
And we're gonna add
Okay, maybe you can share with us like what are the ingredients that you brought?
okay, ingredients that I've stolen from my mother-in-law's kitchen are.
Not anymore. People don't.
So typically there are few recipes for creating boiling tea or brewing tea, and I am most familiar with this method. There are some who boil milk first and then they add the tea. I feel this is the most balanced to have a bit of the tea, else it tastes more like a latte than tea. Okay, so what we have is definitely the tea dust. It needs to be tea dust. Don't put tea leaves. They all become something else. Teh. Okay.
Yeah, it will become tea.
Then we need sugar. I don't know where it's sugar. Who's going to cover the sugar? So sugar. We have condensed milk. We have carnation creamer.
Full cream.
Full cream. Either all in or all out.
Right, now the spices, man.
Spices. Then we have
Star anise.
we have star anise. We
Cinnamon.
have what the name for this?
Cloves. Biji. Yang
Four
tak,
friends to be honest, four friends.
yang biji yang tak sedap tu.
I forgot the thing you put
Mas kawan.
in the biryani that you accidentally bite and then you really curse and swear.
The one that you eat in biryani.
I just give you the Malay names. If you can find the translation, please let us know in the comments. So this is the cardamom. Now it comes to me. Cardamom, jintan. I don't know what's the English term.
Cloves.
Is it cloves?
Cloves.
Everything also cloves.
Cloves. That is cloves.
Everything close.
Cloves, star anise, cloves,
Cinnamon.
and cinnamon.
Yeah.
So you realize I'm using cinnamon stick, not cinnamon powder. It's a bit different. If possible, I want to crush, but I don't have a proper kitchen. So, but this is good enough. And we're gonna throw.
All of them.
No. There's gonna be some proportion. I'll explain later. So this is a full pot, about nearly 500-600 milliliters. We need about 6 to 7 of this spoonful of the tea dust. So we have, look at that, the tea dust. It's very fine. So that could mean that the flavor will be brought out faster. 2, count me like Dora like that. 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, before that, maybe you can share with us like how much of the water do you put in this pot?
𝗁𝗃𝗃.
Okay, about I added about 6 to 700 milliliter.
Oh, okay, so that's like one pot.
Correct, one pot. So this is serving for about 8 people. Yeah, about 8 people can have.
For now, 4 is good enough.
Yeah. So twice.
Yeah.
Twice, huh? So we're gonna let the tea leaves boil because you want to draw out the flavor and fragrance first. Right?
Plastic.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Kitchen
Yeah.
aid.
Should use
Boys and girls.
metal utensils.
Can.
Oh, you can smell the fragrance of the tea.
So right after that, I'm gonna throw in the spices. So the cinnamon, star anise. So star anise, I put about 5 pieces of star anise because I really want to draw out the flavor. So it's about 5. It's gonna be very packed flavor. Cardamom. We're gonna try about 4. And then the jintan, I'm sorry, I still don't know the English name.
The cloves.
So this is the thing that will give it a bit of a, is it the word sour taste? Just a hint of it.
Sour.
But it will really bring out a new fragrance. So, is there any health benefits to this?
Perhaps.
The answer is no.
But why do people take clove drinks when they have COVID? So perhaps there is.
Probably, yeah. So now, use the metal teaspoon, like the British.
Like the British. But British don't drink tea, they drink tea.
So look at the boil. I'm gonna turn down the heat a little bit.
Turn down the heat. A few stirs.
So can you smell that?
Get your smell. Yeah.
It's a new fragrance. So I'm saying their social media page, if you guys been following them, they are starting to get really active with their campaigning.
Yeah.
And this particular campaign on its own opens up a whole new conversation about influencer marketing. So a lot of brands today are now shifting away from generated content whereby, I don't know what's the proper name for it, but in the past, the usual content you see for brands, especially maybe, is very nicely taken, very staged shots, curated shots, and that was the trend. They're going to show the appeal of food, and the pictures will also be there will be educational information, there will be carousels, but there's a major shift that's happened recently. They are now moving away from influencers as well. They are moving to a lot more to micro, nano, and even atomic influencers.
Like you?
So why is this happening? Users are moving away from those picture perfect content. They're moving away from brands. They want to build. They only buy from brands they trust. They are buying from brands that are authentic and they can build rapport with. And those brands, for you to portray that, is not by having those Photoshop pictures or not from those having those $10,000-$20,000 photo shoot.
So they want raw.
They want raw like this what we're having here. This is prime content for them. Because this is their peer research or peer review is going to be super important nowadays. When you want to buy tea nowadays, you're not going to Google first. You must ask your chat group first. Hey guys, where can I find the best tea? And your trust indicator towards Google and your friend is now competing. It's more going to lean towards your friend compared to Google. So the person will be ranking number 1 on Google, but if your friend say, no, I don't want to buy that, you should buy this instead. Chances are they might go with a friend's recommendation. So this peer review content is going to be super important. In fact, major brands are already adopting it. If you guys can catch L'Oreal have started to use influencers, nano influencers to promote their hair products. So, and it's much cheaper. It's so cost effective because I'm not paid for this. But imagine those nano influencers, the micro influencers, for a budget of 20,000-30,000, you can probably get 30 influencers and get them for them $1,000 and a chance to portray their brand, their beloved brand. It's a win for them. And they're going to put in effort to good content, good review, honest review. And when you come back with 30 different content, you can now filter right. Yeah. And your content lifetime is a lot. You can last for the whole year. So you're not going to run out of content. And you can choose the best of how you want to run your campaign. So, can you see the ROI of this method is insane.
Yeah, because interestingly, okay, so basically with like those who have bigger brands, so usually people like their stuff, and comment their stuff and share their stuff because they like the person itself.
Correct.
It's not because they know the product, they have been using the product. It's not like that. Yeah. So that's where the word of mouth is very strong still, and that's I think the longest kind of networking or longest kind of marketing that people have been using. Yeah, so now it's back to square one. Yeah. Now people are going back through the
full
old
circle.
time. Yeah, full circle. Yeah. So I mean, influencers, you know, the big influencers, how are they called?
The influencers.
The influencers, okay, the influencers. They are still, you know, are widely used in the market, you know, as of now. Like, you know, people are using Ronaldo, you know, with the, you know, Ronaldo has, you know, he's a soccer player, but now he has been like, you know, shooting for, you know, shampoo, 𝗕𝗵𝗁𝗶, you know, underwears and all that stuff, which had got nothing to do with sports. Yeah, but then still people are, you know, so that's good on awareness part, but for the buying power, I think nano influencer will be a good thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
So maybe because being used for Shopee is to draw people to the platform.
Yes, yeah.
But the buying decision comes down back to the nano influencers.
Yeah.
So with that, let's come to the important part.
Let's
Yeah,
drink.
that's-
Oh no,
not
no,
yet,
no,
not
no,
yet.
not
Yeah,
yet.
some of the
Milk.
steps. Yeah.
Milk.
So the milk has yet
You want to
to
drink?
to drink now. I mean, you can.
So we're gonna add in the condensed milk. Okay, not my best way to portray.
How much is it?
So how many of you think tea
Agak-agak je.
is healthy? Yeah, it's not. Look at how much I'm going to be putting in, and you're going to rethink your choices. So when you add the milk, you want to really lower down the heat, or else the milk will, they call it break, and then
Don't
will
break the
spoil the whole tea.
So don't break the milk, okay?
Don't break milk. Break hearts, not milk.
Break hearts.
No, don't break hearts also lah. Your heart's very fragile, you know. Come on, man.
So that's about 5 to 6
Teaspoon.
which is not enough. I usually put tablespoon.
Table lah.
Go ahead.
Teaspoon. Small.
How many of you still remember those condensed milk cans where you can drink the kopi and tea from?
Oh, that's old school,
The
man.
old school, huh?
That's the uncle like to make.
Yeah. And now we're gonna add condensed milk.
That's good. Lesser. Is it more or lesser?
About the same?
What is it?
Yeah. There's a lot of milk going on here.
So for those who are lactose intolerant,
Yep.
you
Too
will
bad.
think your choices.
Oh. You want to, you know,
Okay. Sorry, it's a bit clumsy. We are still getting used to this setup. We're gonna give it a good stir. So I'm gonna lower down the heat a little bit more because I don't want it to cook through. How does it smell, Sarah?
Amazing. I can't wait to have a little bit of taste.
Oh, still with sugar. Oh,
There's sugar.
oh man. That's why it's unhealthy.
I think, wait. I think you should use another.
That's why it's about pleasure, right? This is all about pleasure.
If you are,
You don't drink tea
conscious-
because you are choosing healthy option.
No. If healthy option, just drink plain water.
Yeah. Thank you, Sarah. I give you a raise. So sugar, spice, and everything nice.
Oh, 𝗕𝗵𝗁𝗃.
Wow.
So this tablespoon, huh?
Ooh.
Sarah is sighing.
Banyaknya.
You think your saffron tea or
Yeah.
At home I did
Saffron
instant
tea from where?
tea.
saffron, not saffron tea. So we got the tea with sugar. So all the ingredients are in.
Oh, everything is
Good
in
stir.
now.
Really
Now
good stir.
Okay, so Sarah gonna have a first taste.
By now it's almost done. Just getting everything to be dissolving.
Hopefully it dissolves.
Really blend. Nice blend. So let's talk back to Bhai Tea. So you can get this Bhai Tea online, and up to 10 provision shops they are selling. So I love their distribution strategy or their sales strategy because they are diversifying. They start with distribution, which is always a good way to jumpstart your revenue. And then they move to e-commerce, and their e-commerce website is pretty optimized to get, because they push for subscription, so there's consistent revenue. And the price point is pretty reasonable, I think, about $10.50 for the package at least. And their subscription model is like $100 per year or every 3 months. Very, very, very creative. And they try to pair up with milk brands to complement. And when you come to a certain point, you either want to go vertical. Vertical means you either introduce larger packaging, smaller packaging, or you want to go horizontal, whereby Oh, let's introduce coffee, which is what we actually wanted me to promote.
Oh, there's got coffee as well.
Yeah, the coffee.
Oh.
Yeah, Nanyang coffee.
Nanyang. Oh, it's from
Nanyang.
China.
Yeah, Nanyang coffee. Oh, you want to introduce milk, or you want to introduce snacks that goes with it. That's going horizontal. So I believe Bhai Tea is still going a lot more vertical by showing how consumers can enjoy this in various different ways and sizes.
Okay, interestingly, I were to compare with the coffee packaging. Okay, just touch a little bit about the packaging again. It doesn't show much of the logo, by the way. Yeah. Okay, I can see this by faces. Okay. But I'm not sure whether it's the logo or if this is the logo or this logo. You know, so yeah. So that's my random thought.
It seems more like a practice packaging.
Oh.
The size.
Oh, okay, okay.
Right, sample
Yeah,
packaging,
sample packaging.
and the actual final product.
So this is not on store.
I think it is. It is
Oh, it is.
installed. It is installed. It's a new launch.
It's made in Singapore.
It's a new launch. Because we are tea lovers, we're going to showcase the tea first. Coffee is pretty straightforward.
Coffee, I mean, not much of a coffee lover.
Yeah, there's not much coffee lovers here.
So,
We're going to have a taste test of this tea.
let's go.
Alright. So always remember, guys, bring a strainer.
Yeah, two.
So when you don't have a strainer, you gotta improvise. So this one is skill meets tea.
Yeah, whatever it is, Sarah, you try it first.
Yep. So we drink by shots, huh? So look at that color. It's a bit orangey brown.
To the right.
Oh, yeah, to the orangey brown. I was trying to go a little bit more lighter color, so it look more creamier.
Yeah, because I think the glass is.
No, because the mark is the color.
Oh, it is a color.
So Sarah, it's hot,
It's
by the
hot,
way.
yeah,
It's
by
hot, by the way, in
the way.
case you forget.
Yeah.
Smells a lot of spices in there.
Correct. You see how many.
How many?
Maybe you want
Yeah, maybe whether you pour it
Oh
on
yes,
some
so
of the
that's
cups.
because
Yeah.
it's not nice. We can just make a new batch.
Or after this, we can get this. You know. Okay.
How?
It's not bad.
Do you drink it with eyes closed?
Yes.
Does it make your eyes close?
Yes, it did.
Masala tea. Good. You try.
What's
Something missing, right?
is it milk?
I think
Condensed?
sugar.
Sugar. You really put in sugar? I think milk. Should I just put in?
I think milk. Maybe a little bit more milk.
Mesin, you want to try? Mesin.
Yeah, let's adjust a bit. We adjust on mesin, huh?
It's just
We put it there. So, back to the boiler. So we realize we just need a wee bit more milk and sugar. Because everybody not healthier version here. All asking for more sugar. Creaminess. The color looks better now. That's why I said the color was a bit off earlier. Color looks better. And sugar.
Cukup rasa.
Cukup rasa, ya.
Cukup rasa.
When making tea, it's good to go over than under. How do you find it?
Okay.
But I think even when there's lesser sugar, the taste of the tea it does come through. And I will comment that the taste is pretty smooth. Because if you take those off brands or not very well known brands, the taste is going to be very sour, very sharp, a bit acidic also. This one is very, very smooth, gentle on the lips.
Gentle on the throat.
I kind of like how it got like that as well.
So it's really okay.
Yeah.
Mine like.
Come on, Sarah.
Try. It's
Oh.
Always don't put distractions in front of you.
okay, let's try again.
Try again.
Again.
So always remember to bring a strainer, or else you'll have some skills.
Just to scoop it at the top.
Oh, Sarah, your cup, please. Be careful not to break the milk.
Break the milk. How do you know you break the milk?
When you see the white patterns, the patches,
Okay.
the foam patches in it.
Okay. So you cannot break those patches.
You don't want to have the patches, you want it to be smooth.
So all have it even out.
Even.
Okay. So Sarah, how? Okay. I mean, I think we need to add more water.
I think we are good. Very good.
Yeah.
I think.
It's tea. What do you expect, Sarah?
You don't play water? Just drink
No,
water.
you don't want sweet, you drink plain water. So let me taste test.
I think it's alright. It's alright.
Bit off balance.
Because you prefer it just now, right?
Yeah.
It's more on the milky side.
Yeah. So when I add a bit more sugar, what's happening is I feel like the tea and the sugar it's not blending
Very well.
very well. I'm feeling that like there's two tastes. One is sweet, one is sweet. One is the sweetness and one is the tea taste, right? It's like when those two
Yeah.
come, you kind of split.
I think just now was better lah.
So
I can feel it.
you're preparing, the lesson is don't allow Sarah to comment on your food or drink. Something. That's why I said making tea is an art on its own. That's why people line up for those Bhai Tea.
Oh, Hussein, Nana, Hussein.
Ah.
Standing there.
Yeah, I would say, come on, give it a try, man. This was the first,
the first batch.
Yeah, the better batch, I would say.
Hussein suka second batch. Oh, suka.
Okay, so yeah, that's the entire Bhai Tea experience. If you guys want to send us a whole year supply, by all means also, we can do this every month.
Yep.
We'll get better, I promise.
Definitely.
This brand has a lot of potential, really a lot of potential. If they go into sachets or smaller packaging, gift packaging, I think they have potential to go into gifting as a packaging. And their subscription model, I think in Singapore, subscription model hasn't quite taken on. But if they can make it give it a good reason for people to consistently buy this. For example, introduce recipes, introduce variation of tea, or can switch out with tea and coffee. I think there'll be more acceptance for that subscription model. So some food for thought. Their social media, their digital marketing campaign is getting more aggressive. I feel if they follow the footsteps of one of the local brands, 𝗪𝗏 actively campaign every Friday, Saturday, Sunday to promote their biryani and other stuff, and they are strong on email marketing. And that route apparently it seems to be quite profitable. If they want to go even more profitable, you look at the average order value, means are they checking out other things? So when buyers come to the online store, are they going to buy only one? Or incentivizing them to buy a bundle like this. So those are my opinion. I mean, we're going to hear from the branding experts as well. What do you think? Where do you see this in a year or two?
I think they been founded since 1965, so they're not like a new startup or stuff. Yeah, so and I think it's a good start. Okay, and it's quite. I mean, the packaging and how they give the approach is quite, I would say, modernized. So the newer generation would can relate with it. And so because nowadays people are doing tea, doing coffee, just one focus and quite niche. So I would say it's a good brand. Yeah.
So that's a wrap for today's session. We love the whole the tea experience. It is definitely recommended. I'll say it's a bit strong in terms of the taste, maybe because of the fine tea dust. It makes it a bit more stronger than usual. For those of you who are probably used to tea sachet, you guys will not enjoy this as much because this is a bit stronger. But those who are used to enjoying the power pack tea, Teh Tarik, we didn't tarik, but never mind, it's okay. The froth actually doesn't really add much flavor. To bust some myths, the froth is not really a flavor enhancer. It's a bit more aesthetic, I feel.
No.
And sometimes people say that the froth adds air bubbles into it, and it changes the flavor a little bit, and that's the part that gives you a bit more gassiness. So that's why you drink tea just like this. Alright guys, thanks so much for joining. Look out for more exciting random content. Because everyday items has a story to tell, not just those that are on your screen.
Or you never know, maybe next week you have another tea, another brand.
Yeah, why not? Why not? After tea, maybe we can have donuts.
Oh.
Yeah, who knows
Yummy.
who's
Anybody else not? But bacon.
baking any donuts ke?
Croissant.
Croissant. Or pizza.
Oh.
So anything that comes in the box, we are ready to unpack.
Yes. And consume.
Yes. So that's all. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thanks everyone who will join us. See you guys again real soon.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Stay safe, guys.
Bye bye. Bye bye.